Okay, we are live, folks. I don't know how many are out there watching, but I am joined by Meyer Greenblatt, and I'm joined by Dr. SilverAge, and we are going to go hunting for some great books tonight. We're going to be looking for some military comics, and I don't know how successful we'll be, but we're going to dedicate this show to our fine military all over, all branches. And we hope to find some good things. As always, our show is brought to you by Richie Rich Bitcoin. Make sure you mortgage the house and get as many copies of Richie Rich Bitcoin you can get. And tonight's sponsor is Beetle Bailey Combat number 6, How Sergeant Snorkel Got His Stripes. And it's a thrilling issue. Make sure you mortgage your boat and car to get that as well. So I'm joined by some great gentlemen who would like to show some military comics right off the bat.
I'll pull one up.
Fantastic. I'll put you on full screen.
Let's start with Joe Palooka. This is
Very
Joe
nice.
Palooka number 9. Now, you might not think of Joe Palooka right off the bat as a war comic, but Joe Palooka did serve in both World War II and in Korea. Now, when you look inside here, you'll see that they're in uniform. That's Joe, the champ, and his friend Jerry, and that's Melody, a native girl that they make friends with, and she helps them out on this adventure. Joe Palooka was very popular. It was an all-age book. And Joe Palooka claimed to be read by millions and millions of people. I don't know whether that was accurate, but there are plenty of them that survived, and they're not expensive. So that was the first one.
Looked really good.
Should I pull up another?
Was he
Sure.
he's mainly known for his boxing, right?
Right. He's known for his boxing, but when it came to wartime adventures and patriotism, he was right there, offering to give the kids a ride on the Freedom Train. This is from 1947, after World War II, obviously, but Joe Palooka was still kind of fighting this Cold War against, I guess, China. This is the last Joe Palooka will pull up, because you'll see the title changes to Joe Palooka's Battle Adventures. This is from 1952, and Joe is in Korea. These are all done by a writer and artist named Ham Fisher, and I don't know for sure whether he did them all. It was one of those situations, I think, where he might have hired other artists out to do some drawing. I'm not really sure of the full history of Joe Palooka, but he was a boxing champ and a veteran. So that's it for Joe Palooka.
Now, maybe I have a false memory, but did he also do some bubblegum or?
That was Bazooka Joe.
Okay, yeah, there we go. I've just showed my ignorance right off the bat. We haven't even got 5 minutes in the program, so. But ladies and gentlemen, I was not in the military. My father was in the Air Force, but good Meyer Greenblatt. Can you tell us what you did?
I served in the Army. I was a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne Division, and became a combat medical specialist, and then eventually changed MOSs and became a combat nurse. Served in the Gulf War. I did 8 years active duty and 13 years in the reserves, and then worked as a civilian as well.
So
a lot of medical stuff.
You're basically you've got everything covered almost there. As far as military jobs, you did everything but drill sergeant, probably.
That was one thing that I was slated for, and that was one of the reasons. Not one of the reasons why I got out, but it was something that I wasn't looking forward to doing. Okay. Once I made sergeant, I was happy, and I got to a position where I didn't feel upwardly mobile. Like, I got tired of the politics and skipped the sergeant major's barbecue, that sort of thing. That's the kind of thing that gets you promoted as a sergeant every couple of years, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was like I said, paratrooper, 11 Bravo, and then combat medical specialist eventually.
And what countries were you in?
I served in the Middle East, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, Central America, Panama, and Honduras, and South Korea. I almost said North Korea. I lived in Seoul for a year in South Korea, which I absolutely love. I love Korea. And then all over the United States, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. I went to college in Denver, Colorado for a year. The Army paid for that. That was kind of an amazing situation. I re-enlisted, and the Army gave me a bonus and then sent me to school for a year as a sergeant. So I was making my sergeant's pay, going to college Monday through Friday for a straight year through to get the equivalent of my bachelor's done. So, yeah, that's it.
And
let's talk about books.
You're retired. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I'm comfortably retired. I'm 56, and yeah, done with everything. I just collect toys and comics and make videos about vintage toys. If anyone's interested in toys, I have a channel, and I look at old toys.
I recently watched you unpack a 7-Eleven little service station.
Wasn't that cool?
I saw even behind it has little trash barrels and the servant's entrance door, or not servant's, where they bring in all the heavy stuff. What do you call that?
Sitting on the table. It is a scale miniature of a 7-Eleven from the 1960s.
That's cool.
That I found on the internet for $11. It's in the exact scale of Hot Wheels cars. So it looks great with some old 70s cars parked out front. The sign needs to be glued down. But I don't really know the origin of this. Now, I don't, it's I guess maybe a train miniature, but it's an odd miniature to have a 7-Eleven on a train board, isn't it?
Yeah, because the train isn't going to stop for gas or a Slurpee or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. So I like to think that maybe it's a company item, like some sort of a promotional item, or like I said, a promotional item, something that was produced by 7-Eleven to try and help build more 7-Elevens, which is something that I love to collect. I have a collection of vintage promotional dealership car models, which are one of my favorite things to collect. A lot of people know that these exist, but they're car models that are about this long that were produced to be given away to the public by the sales staff at a car dealership. So like if, say, you went and did a test drive on a new Corvette and you decided to buy that Corvette, and the new Corvette comes in 18 colors and they only have 3 on the lot. And say you wanted that special Desert Rose or something, and it would take like a month to get your car, they would give you a little model made factory built by Corvette that's in the color that you wanted to take home and play with. And sometimes they would give it to people who took test drives to take home to help convince their wives to buy the car. On the bottom of the cars, one of the telltale signs is that the options for the vehicle will be printed directly on the bottom of the car to help the sales staff. Because the main purpose of the car is that it's going to sit on the salesman's desk so he can roll it across there and you can look at it and play with it while he's talking about the numbers and trying to sell you the cars. So these are rare and somewhat hard to find, and it makes it a really fun collection because you never know what's going to pop up. And certain things are really expensive, cars from the 50s and 60s and the muscle cars from the 70s. And I could show you a couple if you're interested. I could pull one out that'll blow your mind.
Well, why don't you go and get one, and we'll have Dr. SilverAge show us a few books. I'll put him on full screen. And we're waiting for, well, we're not waiting, but we're hoping Charlton 66 will join us soon. And maybe a few others.
Well, I'll start with, while you mentioned Charlton 66, I'm going to show one that he probably got. And that's War Wings, #1. It's a one-shot.
Fantastic.
From 1968. So the only reason this is in my collection was because I saw an article, I think it was in the National Enquirer, about a guy who had a big, 100,000 comic book collection, and I saw it was like right in the foreground. I'm like, I've never seen that one before. So it was my mission to hunt that down, and I finally found one. Then I got 3 showcase ones. Number 45 with Sergeant Rock.
Nice.
And then I got 2 here, part 1, part 2, with number 57 with Enemy Ace.
Love Enemy Ace.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters.
Me too.
That's number 57, and here's number 58.
While you're showing that behind you on the screen, you're also showing Enemy Ace at the same time. So we're getting a double feature.
So, what do you want me to show? Or are you going to jump in and show some yourself? Or
from time to time. I think Meyer's back to show us a model.
Real quick, let's look at this 1963 Ford Thunderbird.
Oh, nice.
So the thing about these models that sticks out that makes them different than like kit models, they're factory built. There's all that stuff I was telling you about, like the options on the bottom. The axles are metal, the wheels are rubber, and the hubs are metal because it's important that they run nice, like I was saying, right on the desk of the salesman. On the back license plate of these cars, typically will be the year of production because, they would send these out to the dealership in a box every time a new car would come out.
I have something similar to that, but mine's a radio.
Oh, really? Here's a 62 Mercury Monterey with the best taillights in history. Look at those. Look at the back of that car. Isn't that beautiful?
That is cool.
And then this last one, real quick, last one. This is an experimental turbine car. Came out in 1963 and was heavily featured at the World's Fair in 1964. This was a car that was in limited production because it had a jet engine in it. Jay Leno owns one of the last ones that's still running. They only made a couple thousand, but they made probably hundreds of thousands of these models and gave them away for free to kids at the World's Fair. So it's much easier to find a model than it is to find a car.
Wow.
Oh, there's the tail with the turbines. And that's it.
Too cool. Too cool. That is awesome. Very cool.
Thanks, man. That's fun stuff.
Well, I've shown this in another video, but from Harvey Comics, 1952, it's Fighting Fronts. So it's a Korean War.
Yeah, those are great books. I have one of those. They're really, Harvey was fantastic.
And
Joe Palooka was a Harvey title.
Okay. I don't want to leave any branch service out. Believe it or not, I'm even throwing a bone to the Foreign Legion. Here's Captain Gallant.
Yes.
Starring Buster Crabbe. And, I can do better than that. I have a scan of this book. Just picked it up recently. You won't believe, $4. And on the back is a certificate where you could fill out. And on the inside front cover is a poster of Buster Crabbe himself.
That's a great book.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Now I'll shift it over to the good doctor there.
Oh, all right. Let's see here. Why don't we do some more DC? I got some All-American Men of War. We got number 97. And 103.
Oh, the wrestling outside the, yeah.
105. 106. Which one is this one? This is 11.
Wow.
And then let's see here. Then those were ones that featured Johnny Cloud, the NAS, and then it is over to Lieutenant Steve. Yeah, and then it switches over to Lieutenant Steve Savage, the Balloon Buster. And this one is 112. Yeah, 112. They had some pretty cool covers on these war books. They really did. That's another copy of that.
A lot of Joe Kubert covers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 114.
Nice.
And yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, a lot of my war books collection started out as me getting them for the Go-Go Checks quest that I'm on. So that's where they started, and then I just pick them up as I can find them. There's 115.
After that book, can you go back to that Lieutenant Savage?
Yeah. This one here?
Yeah. I want you to see, I'm going to show on the screen Captain Savage, Steve Savage. This is a different guy, isn't he?
I believe so.
Great cover.
But this Steve Savage is related to somebody in the comics, and I can't remember who it is. But
they're both Steve, right? So they got to be the same guy.
Is that
yours is a lieutenant, and this one's a captain?
Didn't Marvel have a Savage too?
Yeah, they had a Captain Savage.
Yeah, it's behind
Captain Savage and the Leatherneck Raiders.
It's right behind you. It's way up top. We can see it behind your head. It's Captain Savage and yeah.
Yeah, that's issue number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else? You want me to keep going, or somebody else want to jump in?
Oh. No, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, me too. Keep going.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Here we go with 115.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Here's 160. Just something about those Go-Go Checks on those covers, man.
Yeah, it's mesmerizing.
And then we got some more Johnny Cloud, the Navajo Ace, in issue 117. Some great covers. I love the action covers right there.
That's better.
Okay, that's it for the Men of War. You want me to jump into GI Combat?
Well, let me set it up for you first.
All right.
I'll show you those ones I showed you earlier. Let's see here. GI Combat started with another publisher before DC, and I'm having trouble finding them. Here we go. This is from Quality Comics, and when they went to DC, DC was able to keep the logo, or the title logo, and very similar. Now, I call these gray wash tone covers because the inker is deciding to let the colorist help out and do a lot of the good shading. And
these are beautiful.
The covers are just fabulous.
Yeah, they are so cool.
That's amazing.
I guess he's getting run over by a tank.
Yeah, and he's going to stick a grenade into it.
And here's a guy playing dead, but he's gonna get him. And I can't believe I like pink so much. It's just beautiful, though. So I don't know if I'm calling it the right thing. I call it gray wash tone. I don't know if that's the right terminology or not, but
I don't know either. I've heard it called gray tone.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
I think Russ Heath was famous for doing a lot of those covers.
Yeah. So hopefully that sets you up to show some great GI combat for us.
Okay. And again, we're going to be my Go-Go Checks ones, all the Go-Go Checks ones. We got GI Combat number 117. And then GI Combat 118.
Oh, that's nice. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then this one here is 119.
Beautiful. Love that. That cover's great. Pushing the boundaries. He's over the logo and there's no edges to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is he getting ready to walk down that turret?
It looks like it, yeah. While he's unloading.
Trying to make his way down there. Yeah. And then we got 120, which is got Sergeant Rock and Johnny Ace in the story.
Nice.
This is a crazy one too. 121. Just look at that. That is just wild.
Wow.
Would not want to be that guy. That is crazy. All right, then we got 122, the haunted tank. We got, can't see this one with the, I believe this is, I got to use the Gratu atomic powered microscope here or whatever. 123. It is 123. So there we go. That's a dark cover right there.
I don't know how many times a bazooka won against a tank.
What's that?
I don't know the outcome of who would win, the bazooka going against a tank. I don't know how many times the bazooka would be able to walk away from that.
Better be a doggone good.
Yeah.
That's why they replaced the bazooka with the law rocket. The law rocket will take out a tank.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And this is 124.
Light anti-tank weapon.
Wow. Wow.
That's great.
And that was the last of the Go-Go Checks ones I have. And I do have this one here. It says it's a special issue, 140. Has a unique style cover on it. So, oh. You wanna see some of the PT boat, Captain?
Sure.
Or you wanna jump in, or
sure? Later, we got some Navy coming up.
Okay.
Captain Storm.
This is a PT boat skipper, Captain Storm, issue number 1. Him and his wooden leg getting shot up there. And here's issue number 2.
Nice.
I hope they're going up okay.
Meyer, if your prosthetic gets shot, do you still qualify for a Purple Heart?
Yeah, I think you get a double.
Wow.
You get I don't know. I'm joking.
Okay.
I don't think I don't think anyone was actually serving with a prosthetic limb, even in like 1944. I don't think that was happening. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but
well,
I've never heard of that.
The recruiter.
Yeah, never heard of that. Yeah, I mean, times are hard, and recruiting is tough these days. But I don't think that we're letting people captain Navy boats with prosthetic legs. Yeah, I mean, imagine that guy's pension. He's getting a disability plus active duty combat pay.
Oh, if he lives long enough to be able to collect.
Yeah, he could triple dip at the end. If he makes it out, he'll triple dip.
Yeah,
Three
exactly.
pages, yeah.
Oh, here's issue number 3.
Excellent. So that's a rope around the logo.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to show a rope later on for Don Winslow. So.
Oh yeah.
And this is number 4. I have the entire run of these. I don't know how many you want me to show, but it's not like they got a whole lot of them. And that's another copy of that one there. Pull them all, the rest of them out here. Okay, and now we're up to number 5. No, number 6. Number 6. So,
Great.
Excellent.
And here's number 7. I
Too.
like this one. Just something about the colors with this one. They're bright red and everything. It's just, I like this.
I think red and yellow, marketing wise, I think it means sales. Like I think they would increase sales by having a lot of red and yellow on the covers. I'm just guessing because there's a lot of red and yellow.
Could be. You could be right. That one there, I got 3. I like it so much. I got 3 of them. And then we got number 8. Death of a Stub. This one kind of looks like one of those gray tone ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of
just
washed.
These great covers in these books.
And then we got number 9. Trying to figure out which way to go. Here we go. Number 9. Number 10.
Sweet.
Wow. Look at that samurai coming right at you.
Yeah.
That image looks like one of those MC Escher, where the guy's staring into a ball, yeah. The reflection or the this angle is just wild. The sword.
Oh yeah, it's like a walleye type of thing where it's rounded towards you or something.
Okay. Yeah. That. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we got number 11. And another red cover here with number 12. I got 2 of those. Which way are they going here?
Very nice.
And we got number 13. This one here kind of always makes me chuckle. As they're both landing haymakers right under the chin. Double whammy. Double knockout. And then we got number 14. I like this one too. Man, just the angle of the whole thing. That looks so cool. And we got number 15. Number 16.
Something broke.
Uh-oh. Number 17.
Was that the wing of his plane that broke?
Look, the propeller.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Looks like the propeller broke off.
Yeah.
So.
They don't need that.
And then we, yeah, what do you need that for? The thing's going to become a boat now.
That's why they
Number
call it 100 mile an
17.
hour thing.
And then the last issue, again, I love the logo on this one with the go-go checks and the colors. It just stands right out. And this is number 18, the last issue of the group.
Nice.
Again, liked it so much, I got 2. Love
Yeah.
them. Love them.
Really dynamic covers on this run.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a real good job on it. And it's such a little known series. You know, it doesn't get a whole lot of attention. You know, you can still pick it up relatively cheap, you know. So, all right. Who wants to jump in and have a little fun?
Well, I'll represent Dell Comics here pretty soon
Nice.
with the basic title Combat. They have painted covers.
Farewell.
Very cool.
For our Navy fans.
Beautiful.
Wow, that is neat.
I love the painted covers on Dell.
I never appreciated them as a kid when I'd see them, but boy, I appreciate them now.
I was the
Now
exact
you know
same
more.
way, Doc. Yeah, I was the same way. I would pass them by, like in the quarter bin.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, these guys are going to get crushed here by the tank.
That's a great cover.
Ooh.
Wow.
All right, let's see Meyer show a few.
Okay. This is G.I. Joe
Yeah, from
Number
Ziff
12.
Davis. Excellent.
from Ziff Davis.
Very
It is
cool.
a big 52 pages for only 10 cents. This is during the Korean War, and this is a great story in here. These are great books, if you can find them. The art on the inside is fantastic. Stories are great. And I would say that this comic isn't for kids. Like a lot of these old war comics. Here's another one. This is Bill Battle.
Yeah.
The one-man army. This is, who made this? This is Fawcett. There's only 4 issues in this series.
So
this
the
guy
same people
Bill
that are
Battle-
making Shazam Captain Marvel are making that.
Yes. This guy, Bill Battle, the main character in this comic, is boisterous. That's his bit, is that he's the one-man army, and he knows he's the one-man army. And they have these crazy photo covers. It ain't always hell, torture. And like you can see, there's like, it's oddly humor-driven. Some of the stories. I'm having a hard time with this.
Well, that's fine.
Anyway, that's Bill Battle. Here's another
neat.
Harvey book, Fighting Fronts.
Oh, excellent.
Lee Elias cover. Beautiful.
Hey, while you have that G.I. Joe, I'll keep it on you, but I'll show you this this cover.
Wow, yeah.
It's like if my gun doesn't get you, my dog will. So
That's great. So in the cover I showed, he's holding a baby, and in this one, he's holding a puppy.
oh, excellent.
Yeah.
He's a good family man. All right.
Warfront, War is Hell. This is another Harvey book.
Yeah.
With a Lee Elias cover and interiors by Lee Elias and Bob Powell in a lot of these books. Another Warfront. These are all from the early 50s and were being sold on the stands during the Korean War.
Ooh. Very neat.
Here's Battleground, an Atlas book with one of those similar, like almost gray tone covers like you were showing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is one of my favorite covers. You look like on the ground in front of him is a pack of Japanese cigarettes, and it says behind enemy lines. Here's another Atlas book. This guy was Combat Casey, and he was this redheaded guy with a beard. This is a Don Heck book, mostly, I believe. Also, really good stories. I've read all of this stuff, and it's not for kids, to be honest. It really isn't. It doesn't necessarily, like a lot of the books that we've been looking at, they don't necessarily glorify war. And and it's certainly, I mean, if it was a recruitment tool, it worked for some people. It worked for a lot of the guys that I served with that read these books growing up. But I don't think that was the main thing. I think they're, I don't know.
There's our secret weapon.
Yeah, there's a secret weapon, Sergeant Bilko and Private Doberman. And this next one is one of my all-time favorite covers.
Oh, yeah.
Is that not great?
Yeah, that is cool.
I absolutely love this cover. I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious because it's like, this is a picture like they make everybody take and that they send home to your mom, right? Yep. And it's Private Doberman, who's like a 44-year-old private. I think it's hilarious. These are all done by Bob Oxner on the inside, the same guy that did Bob Hope and Jerry Lewis, I think.
Oh, fantastic.
All American Men of War. Another crazy cover.
That's cool.
I only got a couple more. Should I keep going?
Well, we don't want to exhaust your supply just right off the bat.
All right. Well, then I'm good.
Okay. Let me put it back on all of us here. So I thoroughly enjoyed some of the humor there. We'll start off one that's somewhat serious, but still has some humor to it. American Air Forces.
Great cover. I've never seen that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Gonna send him back to Germany. And for any of the Air Force might be watching, we have Flyboy. And for any Marines.
Like an eventful day. Look at that one. My gosh.
Oh, oh my God.
A little hot time.
Yeah, not necessarily for kids, right, guys?
Right. And here's if Charlton 66 shows up, he'd really like this. They're getting ready to put their bayonets on. Yeah. And speaking of bayonet.
Wow.
But he better look to his left real quick. He's about to get shot. Oof. And I don't know what you guys think about this logo. A guy yelling in the middle of the word battle cry. And his enemy loves the Soviet Union so much, even though he's probably Korean.
Show me your war face.
He's got that hammer and sickle right there on his own hand.
Yeah, that's the war face. Jeez.
Here's another Charlton.
That's a great one.
You'll find battlefield action in many of the old quarter boxes, but the covers were really, really good.
Yes, they did. They had some really cool covers.
They're great. There's Combat Kelly again.
Yeah, this kind of might be his start, really.
Yeah, it might be. You're right. He might have started out in Battlefront.
And
so I think Atlas had two books. Like Atlas had Battlefront and Battlefield, right? I think they had two. I get them confused sometimes. They're, I think, running at the same time. Look at that one.
This guy just got shot above the heart. This is by the publisher Pharrell.
Wow. The Red Badge of Courage.
Now that's around a tank. I have a great uncle who came back from Korea, and he says he got he was attacked, and a Korean was chasing him around the tank, and they were both trying to get a bead on each other. And of course, my great uncle was able to come back to Missouri. But when he tells you stuff like that, it just takes the wind out of your sails. You can't. It's not a movie. It's real, and he lived through it. So,
right,
Doctor, do you have anything to show?
I've got some our army at war ready if you want.
Oh, fantastic.
Alrighty. I'm going to start off with number 162 and 163 is a two-part story. It's got the return of the Viking Prince in it,
Huh.
which was an old character.
Oh yeah, brave and bold. Yeah.
So, and here's the next one.
So what's the story with the Viking Prince? I mean, is this a time traveling situation? What's going on here?
No,
I think it was
a character about 1,000 years ago. He's supposed to be a prince of a Viking tribe, but he I guess falls overboard and he lands with these people that, well, there's a bad guy who doesn't want to let everybody know that he's a prince, so he kind of keeps them under his thumb. Dr. SilverAge could probably do a better job of explaining the plot line, but you know he's going to one day try to claim to be the king of the Vikings, but DC never got around to letting him be the king, I don't think.
I didn't realize it was a period piece. Yeah, I was thinking that he was a Viking prince fighting in World War II.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. I don't know how to explain it. Where it was like it was like a crossover, but not a crossover type. One of those ethereal things type of thing. But
it was mainly for brave and bold. So they showed a Viking prince, then they showed the golden gladiator from the Roman times, and then they probably showed Robin Hood. So you had 3 time periods, all 3 brave men. But
yeah, they showed like the Silent Knight or something like that.
Yeah. More of a Robin Hood type.
Right.
Let me switch right back to you there.
All righty. So now I'm going to start with the go-go checks that I have for Our Army at War, which I believe I have all the issues that have the go-go checks on them. And we start with 167.
Great cover. Wow.
And 168. $169.
Nazi on my back.
I know. I was just reading that as I was
holding on with that cover.
170.
Nice.
Let's see here. 171. 172.
Oh, that's a great cover. Nice.
Yeah, that's one of the cool ones. This one here,
do you really think they would trust each other to be back to back and then take 10 paces? Do you really think they'd go along with that?
No, I love the logo they do with this when they do the red, white, and blue logo for Sergeant Rock. This is 173. I love the look of that.
Yeah, I like that too. That's a great look. Yeah.
Really like that. And that cover is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
And then we got 174.
And there's Sergeant Rock behind you too on your screen at the same time.
Yeah, the one I just showed. Yeah, those are all pictures. I try to take pictures of all the books that I have, so that I'm trying to inventory and log them. So God forbid anything happens, insurance wise.
Oh yeah.
176. Liked it so much. I got another one.
Nice.
I love these. I always love the big 80-page giant, the square bounds. I love these things. And this is 177 with Sergeant Rock's 6 battle stars. Love these things.
I love
this one's got it all. Yeah,
that's great.
It's a giant.
I don't have it yet. That looks great.
Yeah, it's a giant. It's got the go-go checks. I can't ask for any more in a book for me.
Yep.
That's so cool. I love those ones. And this is 178. I have this in a Mylar too. I'm thinking this might be one that was drawn by Neil Adams. The story might have been drawn by Neil Adams. And I'm not sure, but because I usually save the Mylars for what I consider important books. Here we go. 170. What is that one? 179. This one's, let's see.
Nice.
Oh, this is probably a little easier. This one's a better copy of it. So. And then, oh my gosh, I must have really liked this story because I got two more. So.
Nice.
All right. And we got 181. Okay, 182. I like this one too. I like the yellow cover with the red, white, and blue logo. I mean, I love that. That is an awesome lid right there.
Desert Rats of Easy Company.
Yeah. And then
Meyer,
we got.
did you ever try that, shooting a bazooka out of a Jeep that's flying through the air? Did you ever try that stunt?
Yeah, we do that every week.
On Thursdays mainly, right?
Every other Tuesday. Payday Fridays. Every other Friday, right before payday, we all fire off bazookas out of our Jeeps.
Flying Jeep.
I'd be curious at some of the physics involved with some of these stunts they're doing.
Oh, and we got 183.
Those feathers. Wow.
All right, that one there is the last of the go-go checks. I got two more I can show. This is issue number 200.
Hey, great. The guitar cover. Look at is that like the peacenik?
Yeah, I think that was what I think his name is Flower.
The duality of man.
I think they were trying to
sign on your uniform. Making a comment about the duality of man, sir.
And then I'm going to end in that run with number 203. It's another 80-page giant, Sergeant Rock's Prize Battle Tales, and I love this cover.
Wow, that is a great one.
I just love these square-bound giants, and
I do too.
Joe Kubert can't ask for better.
Yeah,
I
love this cool band also.
Doctor, do you have the Brave and Bold where Batman meets Sergeant Rock?
Yes. Yep.
Who traveled in time for that? Was it did Batman go back in time, or you may not remember the story?
No, I don't think I do because it's been many, many moons since I read that.
Well, Eric's in the chat, so he might come to my rescue.
My memory ain't nearly what it used to be.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let me show a few more. Let's do some humor.
Nice.
And we'll start with for some reason guys like this. I can't imagine why. She's almost out of uniform, but good old Canteen Kate.
That's great.
Matt Baker.
Yeah, I've never seen that either.
And in the same vein there is G.I. Jane.
Plus PX Pete.
She's got a point there. Who's going to look at her sleeves?
That is hilarious. It's a great cover.
Feel like this with the parachutes.
Yep. These are great.
And the good Army mechanics. They don't get enough credit. So, Classics Illustrated had one for World War One. It's from the Germans' standpoint, and back to Atlas, we have Combat #1. Inside has a great cinematic clip. I'm going to show you.
Wow.
Here he's coming up on this body, and the guy who's drawing this, he's not cheating. It's a different drawing for each panel. I've looked close. He's not cutting and pasting. It's for our Air Force.
That's nice. Great cover.
That is neat.
And I'm going to go close on this guy getting shot.
Wow. That's putting your weapon into action before you even hit the ground. Yep.
Now, earlier there was the rope logo and the rope around the logos. Here's Don Winslow, and I guess the Navy's really good, known for their knot tying and all that. So,
yeah,
Dell Comics used it as the logo.
That's really neat.
Then he goes to Fawcett Comics and joins Captain Marvel.
These look great. I've never read a Don Winslow. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that one is pretty cool.
Now next one's not for the weak at heart, because this is a decapitation, and I'll go in a little close just to show you. It's pretty intense.
Gangway for the Gyrenes. That's great. My gosh.
And what do you show after you show something like that? Well, you go with Andy Griffith.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta lighten it up.
And that's a great movie, by the way. So
it is.
Well, let's see what's in the comments. Uh-oh. Well, we're going to take Jerry's word for that. All right. Meyer, you got any more?
Yeah, I got a couple more.
Fantastic.
Sergeant Rock's Prize Battle Tales.
Yeah.
80-page war annual from the winter of 1964. I think this is a real popular. Oh, the back cover has an ad for Captain Storm.
Excellent.
Yeah.
A lot of work in here by Joe Kubert and Russ Heath, Ross Andrew. I think that this was a very popular book that a lot of guys remember having bought, like, owning. They made a lot of these, I think, and sold a lot of these.
Awesome.
Here's something different. Canteen cake looked remarkably like a human hand. The life story of Dwight D. Eisenhower, a great American. This came out in 1969, which is interesting because, it's quite a while after he had been president. Dwight Eisenhower. In 1977, Creepy came out with an all-war special issue with a Frank Frazetta cover that I bought off the stands when I think I was about 11 or 12, maybe a little older. This was one of the first 5 issues of Creepy that I bought, and I remember it scaring me. There's a great story in here by John Severin. and it's a great book.
You know, Meyer, back to that Eisenhower book in '69.
Mm-hmm.
Roosevelt was not Roosevelt. Nixon had just been elected, '68, and Nixon served as the vice president of Eisenhower, right. And so maybe this was kind of a remembering or a callback to the 1950s.
Very likely. I'm pretty sure that he was a real popular president, Eisenhower.
Yeah. And surprise, Nixon was he's reelected. So up until Watergate, he was very, very popular. So Go ahead. I interrupted.
Oh, no, that's fine. Here's something else. The
Civil War, yeah.
Completely skipped over talking about EC and Two-Fisted Tales. So in 1985, Russ Cochran came out with these large magazine-sized EC reprints, and this is a great issue, and it's a way to buy ECs for an affordable price and still get like an interesting quality publication that is nowadays considered vintage. But this is a all Civil War issue, and there's great stories in here by people like Jack Davis and John Severin and Wally Wood. And if you're looking for good war comics, I can't recommend this one enough.
Is it all slick paper?
Yeah, it is all slick paper.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not all slick. It's not.
Just
it's not slick on the inside. It's just slick on the cover.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to show and talk about is we're talking about war comics, and we talked a little bit. You showed No Time for Sergeants. Now, my favorite it's not even a war movie. My favorite military movie is kind of an unheard of movie that not a lot of people know about, and it's called Soldier in the Rain, and it stars Steve McQueen and Jackie Gleason, and it's a comedy drama that the main characters are in the Army, and it's a great movie about the comedy and the interpersonal relations and how what the Army life is really like. It's kind of like an extended version of Bilko in a way, but it's much better done. But the Jackie Gleason character, he portrays like a high-ranking NCO that is on his way out. But what I wanted to talk about is Willie and Joe by Bill Malden. So during the war, there was a cartoonist named Bill Malden, and he was very famous for doing these one-panel cartoons that were about these two World War II infantrymen named Willie and Joe. And then in 1945, after the war, he started this book, and this book is about it's the cartoons about returning GIs. Like, for example, just look at the cover of this book. Is just an amazing image, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I think every now and then, if you read Peanuts, Snoopy would reference Bill Malden when he's when he's like in his character of being the soldier, going to get a root beer at the station.
This is one of my favorite ones where she's saying, I was hoping that you'd wear your soldier suit so that I could be proud of you.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So this is an original copy of the book, and then this is what they came out with a couple of years ago, and you get to see the comics in a large, beautiful format. And I just want to do one thing, and I'll just read the back of this so you can get an idea. It says, in the summer of 1945, a great tide of battered soldiers began flowing back to the United States. Though victorious, these exhausted men were too grief-stricken over the loss of comrades, too guilt-ridden that they had survived, and too numbed by trauma to share in their country's euphoria. And that's Bill Malden and Willie and Joe and Back Home. I highly recommend if you're interested in the veteran or the soldier experience.
Looks
so
good.
I'm not a big war movie guy. Yeah. I like war comics and I like war movies, but my favorite movies about the military aren't war movies. Another one of my favorites that I highly recommend. It's called The Last Detail, starring Jack Nicholson. It is a great movie. It's about the Navy, but it's a movie about the life of an NCO. It's a great movie. So I highly recommend The Last Detail.
So, basic question: what's your opinion of The Longest Day?
I like The Longest Day a lot.
Okay.
The Longest Day, I think, was really, when they made it, they made an effort to make it historically accurate, right? Like there's a lot of things that are in that movie that actually happened, like the paratrooper that's hung up on that church spire. That was an actual occurrence. A lot of other things. I think actually that Gratu's father was he helped with that movie. I think that he was a consultant, a military consultant.
Eric's going to ask.
Yes, it is the one with Randy Quaid, Eric. It's about that's why it's called The Last Detail. It's about a mundane detail of two NCOs taking a prisoner to Portsmouth military prison for a minor offense, and that's what it's about.
Well,
it's about Jack Nicholson coming to terms with his realization that he's got about 15 years and he doesn't even want to do the next 5. He's tired of it all. That's kind of what it's about.
Super. Well, let me get your reaction to some of these. You just showed some EC. Here's Frontline Combat.
Yeah, great books.
Now, we showed G.I. Joe earlier, but a lot of us more my age grew up with the 1980s version. And remember that Baxter paper that was printed on?
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. I used to always want this one, even though I was a Marvel guy. I'd see this advertised, and that snake, and you got to play dead, and that's just
that is a great cover.
That makes me wonder what I would do. How long could I hold still? And I love the title of these Man comics, because in this day and age, they're making everybody a female. Zorro's a female. 007's a female. Doctor Who's a female. Thor's a female. And so to actually have the word man, it flies in the face of today's society. I just think they're awesome. And for any of our Navy fans that are watching, here's some good undersea action.
Nice.
Very cool. Task Force.
And we haven't had any superheroes in the Army, except here is Sergeant Superman in Action Comics. Notice the stripes on his arm. And
I've never seen that. It's great.
For the paratrooper here he is without a parachute. Now you realize he's faster than the bullet he could shoot out of that gun, but
that's great. Superman joins the Army. I have never seen that. He's floating down with his buddies.
And if you look closely on this mine, it's Chinese and Korean.
Wow.
And if you don't think the word war is big enough on that cover, then try this one for you.
That is crazy. That's
Good old.
great. That might be the largest font or logo I've ever seen.
That'll get your attention. Now, I'd love to get this one. This is by Avon.
Oh, that's cool. Doggo.
And I got a little close-up of that.
Nice.
It's more the Harvey.
Lots of red and yellow.
Now they argue if that's Kirby or not, but this one definitely is Jack Kirby.
Wow, that is an amazing cover.
I thought you'd like that, the parachute and all.
Crazy.
Here's his original for that.
Wow.
Oh, neat.
And I'm hoping the good doctor here will have some Weird War tales coming up. Because
I've got one.
Wow, look at that one. I've never seen that cover. That's great.
Cat jumping out of the airplane.
Yeah.
And it's like an invisible jet from Wonder Woman.
It is. They're ghost troopers.
Yeah.
And here's my favorite.
I love Weird War. These were great.
I'm going to you guys talk for a second. I'm going to go grab my my rendition of that cover.
So I think the reason why War Comics there's a lot of reasons why War Comics stopped, but maybe one of the main reasons why War Comics stopped was that the guys that were making these War Comics, a lot of them, if not the majority of them, were actual veterans. And they just got old and stopped making comics. And there's no one's making, it's just not the same. You know, the industry that we love and the stuff that we love from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, I mean, I'll venture a guess and say 50% of those creators either served in the military during World War II or Korea, or had their lives were altered by those wars in some way. Like Kirby was an actual infantryman, but a lot of other guys, I think that they served, and maybe the stories reflect that. Some of the stories reflect the, because
I'm sure they could put in nuance.
I don't think they weren't recruiting kids, because these are terrifying. You know what I mean? They're not glorifying the experience.
Right. But in the writing, they could put in the nuances of it that the layman isn't going to understand or know.
You're absolutely right. That's what makes them so good.
Yes.
Is because they're being told by guys that actually have the knowledge.
Right.
That's beautiful.
Right.
Is that a recreation? Is that a recreation, Graphic Man?
So if you go back on my channel, my 4th episode, way back when, I wanted to do my own rendition of the original art, and since I couldn't dare afford that, the next best thing is to try my hand at doing it. And you'd think that with drawing a circle would be easy, but it's not. So I made it bulge a little too much, and so I had to make the tree to kind of cover up a little bit to hide an obvious mistake. And I wasn't about to put all the letters. I'll go back to the cover. If you look closely, he's got bones of bodies and soldiers in the title. Weird, but so that was the next best thing I could do. Just using ink pen and markers, and
I think it looks great. And it's not noticeable. The moon with the tree isn't noticeable.
Yeah. Well,
no, that looks
great.
Awesome. I wouldn't have known it wasn't the original.
No, that's Luis Dominguez, and so in my video about that, I try to really talk up Mr. Dominguez. He did great things for House of Secrets and Weird War Tales, and I'm hoping that Dr. SilverAge has some Weird War Tales to show.
I've got just one.
Oh well, let's hope it's a real good one.
Well, it's this one right here. It's the third issue.
Nice.
But this is one that I'm actively trying to collect. I think I have another issue of it, but I couldn't find it. It wasn't in here, and I've got so many that I've got to file that I think it's probably amongst those. But
Oh, those sound nice, Jerry. Hey, Night Tiger.
hey there.
Yes, it is, Eric.
Really is a gateway drug to romance. Huh?
Jonah Hex cover there.
And he did great things on Unexpected. Unexpected is my new favorite of the DC mystery line. So, you guys got anything else to show? I can get into some Sergeant Fury later.
I don't have.
I got some Captain Savage. I got Our Fighting Forces. Whatever you want.
Well, let me. We're going to play tag team with the Doctor here. I'm going to do some Sergeant Fury annual, and there's number 1.
Nice. Love Sergeant Fury.
So it reprints issue 4 and 5. And here's number 2. They jump ahead to D-Day. And they get you caught up with Fury being a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. in his start at S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, that looks great.
And here's number 3, where they jump him ahead all the way to Vietnam. And I believe the good Doctor has, I think, number 4 to show us. He's going to fill in the gaps that I have.
I have number 4 right here, which is the Battle of the Bulge.
Excellent. And jump back to me. This is number 5. It reproduces issue number 6 and issue number 7, the Court Martial.
I love John Severin. He was great.
And did you have any more annuals?
I had number 7.
Okay, fantastic. Yes.
Wow. Great. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I think that reproduces, I think, number 28, I believe. I've got it.
He's fighting Baron Strucker. So
it's 29. I'm looking at my copy. It's 29. And so we'll start with number 5. This is the first appearance of Baron Strucker.
Wow. These are beautiful graphic novels.
And I believe, I told you this is tag team. I think he's got 6.
I do indeed. And here it is right there.
Did you guys ever watch that old TV show called Combat?
I remember seeing it.
With Vic Morrow and Rick Jason. Yeah. It was about World War II. It was kind of like Sergeant Rock, really, or Sergeant Fury. Yeah. It was the same like platoon or squad. It was a great show. Really good show.
So here's number 7, the Court Martial. I have 2 copies of that.
Nice.
And number 8, I think he has number 8 too. This is Dr. Zemo. And his number 8 might even be better than mine.
I don't know about that. That is my number 8 there.
It's better. It's better.
Mylar makes them look beautiful. It makes any book look beautiful.
So I don't know if you have 9, but I'll show my number 9.
I do not.
It's a Hitler cover.
That is one I'm in search of right now. I've got a couple of looks going on at eBay. That's one I'm trying to get.
And every now and then they'd let Fury go out to Japan and fighting Okinawa.
Mm.
Boy, these guys were everywhere, weren't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, later they go to Vietnam, and Doctor has a great one coming up, starring our very favorite patriotic hero.
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, that's a great one.
Number 13.
Wow.
Love
That's
this book.
beautiful.
It is.
I have the Jason Penny reprint.
Very, very cool.
But
I was
why
so happy with that.
Why have that when you can have the reprint, right, fellas?
Exactly. There you go. Save some money. Save some money. Oh.
So for fun, here's 12.
Yeah.
And here's 15. I should go to full screen. I got another 15. Good aviation.
That's a great cover.
Dick Ayers did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I don't think he gets credit for a lot of his war ones.
Yeah, I think Kirby kind of overshadows Ayers when you think about Sergeant Fury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah, he was great. Love Dum Dum.
Yeah. I have a better one than that. Excuse me. There.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a great cover. Wow.
And here's where he gets that eye injury.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody was telling me that in the movies, Samuel Jackson's character gets his eye messed with a cat or something. A cat puts his eye out. So
That was a space
Seems
cat.
legit. Seems legit
Yeah.
to me. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Who needs the old Sergeant Fury? What?
Yeah.
There was a Sergeant Fury before that guy? Oh,
no. I love Fury.
it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, come on. Doesn't make any sense.
No, I have to agree with you there. But,
just there's 100 where
yeah.
it's a kind of a cross between his shield.
Yeah. The old and the new. I've never seen that cover. That's great.
I have 101.
Excellent.
I love all those heads.
I love the floating heads. I know a lot of people don't, but I always did. Whether
I
it
love
was
them.
Avengers or Justice
guys-
League, whatever.
I liked all of the members of the Howling Commandos. Do you guys remember when there was that one of the guys turned out to be a Nazi spy, right?
Oh yeah.
It was like a
Eric.
big deal. It was like a 4 or 5 issue story continuing talking about Eric von, what was his name? The right? You guys remember
Koenig.
that? Koenig,
Eric.
that's right.
Here we go.
Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. The horror. Look at Dum Dum's face. And Gabriel too. They're looking like, oh my gosh.
So Koenig tricks Fury to go back and
Yeah, here we go.
I do an earlier video on this subject. Notice his arms are tied.
Yeah.
And in my video, I show where he's standing in front of Hitler. Hitler wants him to renounce America and admit you were wrong, and we might not kill you. Of course, he's going to get killed. And next thing you know, Nick Fury is shoving his hand right in Hitler's face. Yet how does he do that? Because his arms are tied, and all the panels behind that show you his arms are still tied. And later he makes his escape. His arms are tied, and then later they show him he's wiping his brow. He can't believe he got away, and yet his arms are tied. So that arm kept slipping out a couple of times, and it's amazing how he did that. And so I made a little video about that. You can check it out sometime. Let's see.
Eric Green.
Exactly.
And for the guy that may not like floating heads, he certainly has to put up with them because they showed up quite a bit.
Mm.
Who else is here? Night Tiger.
Wow.
63. Let's see. Well, 63 is this. But I think I know what he's talking about. I know for sure I have the reprint. That could be what Night Tiger's talking about. I don't know. Well, I don't know what happened to Steve. Kratu didn't join us. Breen didn't. I think Breen just wanted to sit in the bleachers. But you guys got any more to show, Doctor?
I don't have anything else.
Well, I hope
I got stuff, but I don't know if how long we want to be here.
Sure. I hope we gave it a good. I hope we gave it a good shot at trying to pay tribute to the armed forces. And folks, remember tonight's episode is brought to you by Beetle Bailey Combat Number 6, the training of Sergeant Snorkel. And for those interested, next week I will be talking with Paulo, and we will be discussing Asterix. If you do not read Asterix, you are missing something. I know he's more well-loved in Europe, and he's hardly noticed here in America, but yeah, that is some good stuff. And poor Paulo is going to be staying up real late to talk to me next Wednesday night. So it's about 5 or 6 hours later over there in Portugal. And what's Eric saying? Ah, okay. And Zombo's always good to be in the audience.
Thank you, Zombo. Oh, thank you, Zombo. Thanks for everybody for watching. And it was a pleasure being here with you guys.
It was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy it. I was looking forward to it.
Night Tiger, you missed him. Doctor was showing some earlier. They were pretty good, too. Oh, we'll have one person in the audience, at least, for Asterix. That is awesome.
Somehow I think there'll be more.
Well, yeah, some guys get real bored. So Asterix is just not really appreciated in the United States. And Breen couldn't be in there tonight. But just in case he's missing, I always have this standby picture of him to show. So.
That's good.
That's awesome.
I'm sure he'll hate that. So, well, guys, I thought it went pretty good. I appreciate everybody watching. And I can't play music or I'd play taps for us. There's Brinko Bear. Glad you liked it.
Yes. Thanks so much for inviting me. I really, really had a ball. I really, really love doing these things.
This is Eric's reaction to his picture. So
Me as well.
All right. Well, yes, I'm so glad you guys got to be here. And I wish Steve could have came on. Yeah, Night Tiger has streams Sunday night. I want to say something very nice about Steve, Charlton 66. Out of the clear blue sky, he sends this to me, and I didn't know it was coming, but I'd never seen it. And if you think that's pretty cool, he said, I'm going to send you original art from that book. And so here is page 3.
Oh my gosh.
And
awesome.
That's awesome.
Page 3 from I believe it's the 3rd story. And it looks real sharp.
That's fantastic.
So
incredible.
I had to find this really big frame for it. It was awesome. He also sent me Conga.
Great.
So,
that's a
and I asked him if I could do a kind of an unboxing, and I don't know if he'll embarrass easily, but I was hoping he'd be here tonight, and I could show it in front of him to let you guys tell him what a great guy he is. Of course, you all know that he is a great guy.
Absolutely.
I'll be sending him out something pretty soon. I don't know what should I send him, guys. What do you think he might like?
Wow.
Something. think he might like something kind of like that. So
that's amazing.
He might go for something like that.
I'll have to sweeten that a little bit, but I hope he gets to see that. So, but and speaking of Steve, tune in and watch Charlton 66. It's a great channel. He has great episodes, and I know his wife was sick. He might not have been able to make it tonight, so I'm sure he'll email me tomorrow. Well, thank you all, and it was great having you all, and thank you both for being on. I thought it was fantastic, and always love to give a tribute to the military. I don't know how much this pays them respect by showing comic books about them, but I hope we tried to cover a lot of the ins and outs of military life and things like that. So everybody have a great night, and God bless, and hope to see everybody here, or at least the ones that want to see next Wednesday to see Paulo. And if you haven't watched him, he's a great guy. Has a lot of European knowledge of comics and illustrations over there across the Atlantic. So, well, gentlemen, thank you so much. And
thank you.
Have a great. I'll be in contact with both of you guys later. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.